Well, hello everybody, Anthony here. Welcome back to another episode of the Single Parents Podcast. This is the podcast for anybody whose life may have turned out a little less than traditional. And yeah, I'm coming to you from my desk because I actually recorded another probably better introduction to this episode a while ago before I met up with our friend Tawny to record the episode you're about to hear. But as I was getting my SD cards prepped for the recording with Tawny today, I accidentally reformatted the memory card with that old introduction footage on it. So that just means that old introduction's gone forever and you all get this. But that's okay because we need to go hang out with Tawny anyways. You don't want to hear me yapping in the intro for too long because we got some fun, interesting, and dare I say, controversial stuff to talk about. Yeah, it's going to be good. So let's just go get into it. But before we do, just a few things to remind you of. That's just mostly why I wanted to redo this intro. So you don't forget to, number one, make sure that you are subscribed so you never miss an episode of the podcast in the future. Just go to your favorite podcast hosting platform and just make sure that the little subscription or bell or things, downloads, it's all turned on so you stay up to date on everything we got going on going forward. The next thing is just maybe consider sharing the podcast. You can share the podcast with a friend, with a family member, with an old conservative person you know in your life. That reference will make more sense here as you go on and listen to the episode, I promise. But just make sure you just spread the episode around so we can continue growing the show and bringing in more voices to the conversations that we have on every single episode. And then last but not least, if you would be so kind to do so, maybe consider rating the podcast, rating it 5 stars, highest rating possible on whatever platform you're using, so they tell the algorithms out there that the show is legit and it passes it along to more people. Some of you, maybe Disney adults, maybe people who live underwater, again, old conservative people, you might not want to rate this episode that high after you actually listen to what Tawny and I have to say. But I'll let you be the judge of that. I think I should just let you have the opportunity to assess for yourself. So let's go ahead and meet up with Tawny right now at the park. All right, everybody, we are here at the park, and by we, I mean me and Tawny. She has the headphones on this week because she's in charge. She's a boss babe. She's got this. So that's why I was singing, because I want her to appreciate my beautiful voice. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Do, re, mi. Anyway, yeah. Okay, all right. I'll move on before Tawny says, you know what? I gotta go. I can't do this anymore. Looking at a watch she doesn't even have. But no, thanks for joining us again. What's been up with you?
Not a whole lot. Just working.
Just working.
We did on my podcast, we did our first episode with our real equipment, so we're official.
Oh, yeah. Now. How does it feel to be official now?
I feel really professional. Mm-hmm. I'm ready to start signing autographs. Was recognized, so we're basically famous. Things are they're in a forward trajectory. We're going really good.
That's right. And that's why you guys need to subscribe, build this podcast up, because Tawny's agent actually got a hold of me earlier today and was like, this is going to be like the last episode she's going to do pro bono. After this, we're going to have to start sending you her rates, which just keep going up. She sent me like a draft last week, and then this morning she's already like, it's doubled. Like, mm-hmm. She's getting booked. She's all over the place. Right. And so to be able to afford her on the show, if you want to see her stick around, please, I don't know if I can, I might have to get a second job just to afford you on the show, but that's good. That's a good thing. I'm glad you're blowing up. You're having your big glow up. That's pretty sweet.
Oh, thanks.
But other than that, things pretty good with you?
Yeah, not a whole lot. What about you?
What about me? I always hate when people ask me that. I hate when people. That's why I host podcasts and I don't like being on them as a guest because I don't like answering questions. I'm doing pretty good. I feel like, you know that I think it's like Greek or whatever. There's like a mythological story of this guy, and he's cursed to like roll a rock up a hill for all of eternity, only for it to roll back down and him to start at the beginning and keep rolling the rock up the hill, and then he keeps doing that over and over again. That's kind of how I feel.
That story's about you?
Yeah, I didn't know if you knew that, but they based that on my life because I feel like I'm good, but it always just feels like my life is rolling a rock up a hill. I get to the top, like, sweet, I conquered the month, I conquered school, drop off, work, budget, all this stuff, only for the calendar to flip and it'd be another month and that rock roll down the hill, and then I gotta do it all over again for the next 30 days.
Right. Are you like a type A person?
Yeah, I would say so.
I'm
Yeah.
so far type B.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like that person.
Okay.
I don't know where my license is. My debit card's been gone for a month. I need to use Apple Pay, but my phone's dead.
Oh, okay.
We got to take your car. Mine's not registered. That's me.
Oh, that works, because I think I'm not like, I am like, okay, so this is the plan. We have actually, to the point where I used to not freak out, but I used to like get into disagreements, we'll just say, with my kids' mom when we were together, because she would always do this thing where I would call them like parking lot plans, to where, for example, say we're going out to dinner with friends, we go out to dinner, that was the plan, that was on the agenda. Then we get in the parking lot, and I'm like, okay, well, we did the plan, so I'm going to go home and chill, whatever. But she would be like, oh, well, like, what are you guys doing right now? Let's go play games, or let's go see a movie, or let's go do this and that.
You're like, that's not
And I was
on
like,
the schedule.
we didn't talk about that. We talked about going to the movies, and then after that, we'll go home and, watch whatever. But I had to learn that, you know what, sometimes life, it's just gonna life, and you just gotta roll with it, and you gotta go with the part. And then usually the parking lot plans always turn out to be the most fun thing, because they are like spontaneous and fun and random. But anyways, I had to grow. Still growing, people. I'm not perfect yet, unfortunately.
That's so funny.
Not yet. But Tawny, this week we are doing something we've never done before, which is ranking iconic single parents throughout history. Throughout media, whether it be movies, I think some TV shows. I don't think any of these people are in books. Maybe they are. But we're going to talk about them one by one, and we're going to rank them from S tier, being the peak single parent, all the way to the F tier. If we think they're like trash single parent, we're putting them at the bottom. We'll share our opinions, our takes, kind of justify where we would rank them. And we're going to rank them on two pieces of criteria. The first thing that we're going to rank them by is just how good of a parent are they?
Okay.
Especially a single parent. These parents doing it solo, how do we think that they're functioning? How are their kids? How's the life? How's the situation? How are they as an SP? And the second piece of information we're going to rank them off of is just like, how much could they get it? Like, if they were out on the dating market, if they were on Tinder and you swiped and you came across these SPs and it said like girl mom or boy mom in the bio, would you look at them, look at their life, look at everything and be like, you know what? This person, this single parent could still get out there and pull a hot date. So, yeah. And thoughts on that before we get started? You have any initial thoughts on this whole setup before I go through the list?
I'm just ready to get into it. I'm ready to talk some smack about single parents.
Okay. Yeah, you sound like people in my YouTube comment section whenever I post a video.
They're like, yes, can't wait.
You're like, you guys are trash. You guys chose this. You should have made better choices. You can't complain because you should have blah, 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 blah. Anyways.
God, I love people.
Yeah, aren't people? We'll do a separate podcast. We should do a separate podcast. Maybe if you come back next week, we'll do a whole episode about going through some crazy things people have to say about single parents. That could be fun.
Do you have pretty thick skin with that stuff?
I do, yeah, because I know I'm kicking ass, so I don't care what they say.
I'll cry.
You'll cry? Oh, no. I don't want to make you cry, but that would be good content, so...
Yeah, I can squeeze a tear out.
All right.
For the views.
Well, for the views. You got to do it. So if you guys promise to subscribe and come back next week, then you'll get to see Tawny cry. Yes. If that's what gets you to subscribe, we'll make it happen. All right, so this first famous, iconic single parent we're going to kind of get into is none other than Goofy himself. So we got Goofy from Disney lore, Disney media, but particular, my view of Goofy has always come from the Goofy movie, where he has his son Max, and they go on a road trip, and they do all the things. And so we'll just take turns going first throughout this list. So Tawny, right off the bat for you, do you have any initial thoughts on Goofy as a single parent?
I think he's the best single dad. He's doing all he needs to be doing. He's trying to be involved in Max's life, and Max is kind of just a little turd to him, which, he's a teenager, whatever. But yeah, and he doesn't hold any grudges. He's such a good dad.
I agree. Oh, so if you had to put him on the tier list, where would you put Goofy?
Let me look at the tier list.
All right.
Do you have it up?
Yeah, so S tier is peak.
Yes.
Then A, B, C, D,
S.
F. S. Okay. I 1,000% agree. I think maybe I kind of like buried the lead. Well, not buried the lead. I kind of maybe blew our load. That's a good way to say it.
Nope.
But, okay. Maybe I don't know. I think of a better way to say it. I think that I might have made a mistake by putting like the GOAT at the beginning of the list, because everybody who comes after this, I think, is gonna not. Goofy's he's peak single parent, because as you said, he, in that movie in particular, he's loving, he's compassionate, he's a homeowner, he has a nice house, he has a vacuum, he has a job, he has a car, he's
talking to the principal at school, he's involved at the school.
He's an involved parent. He has enough PTO to go on like a week-long vacation and afford to eat at all these places. Like, Goofy has his crap together, but most importantly, he's just a good, emotionally stable parent, because the whole point of that movie, he's just trying to bond with his kid. Even though Max, you're right, he was a jerk the whole movie. He got too caught up being a simp for that one girl, Roxanne. And I don't think there's a second one. Have you seen the second one called Extremely Goofy Movie?
Of course I have.
Okay, that was a little test to see how valid you are, so I'm glad to hear that. But Max and Roxanne don't even end up together.
No, Roxanne's not even in the second one.
So that was all pointless. But let's talk about the second one. Goofy he's so driven. He's so good. He's
going back to school.
I'm going to better myself. I'm not going to say, you know what, I'm 40, 50 years old. I think I'm done. Like, he's like, I still got life. I still got things to contribute. I'm going to go back to college. And then he ends up, a couple of things. Number one, becoming more popular at the school than his own son.
Yep.
But number two, he's the one who walks away with the hot lady at the end of the movie, not Max. So
it's his time to shine. That was his moment in college.
Yeah. So you know what? There's a lot of reasons why I think Goofy is S tier single parent. So he's at the top of the list for sure. All right. This next one is Thanos from the Avengers Marvel movies.
You're gonna have to carry us.
I'll carry this one. I can do this one. This one. I actually. People might not like this. It might be a hot take, because in the movies, if you don't know for context, he's like the main bad guy, and he like kills half of the universe. But we're talking about not that. We're talking about single parent life. And as a single parent, he has 2 daughters. Actually, I got to think about this. I would go B tier. I would go B. I was going to actually give him A, and I'll explain why. The reason why I was going to give him A is because he's a daddy with goals. He's a daddy with ambitions. He's a daddy that's like, I have a plan. I'm going to get things done. My plan is to kill half of the universe. But you know what? He goes for it, and he actually does it. He succeeds. And then at the end, he kind of just chills on his farm and enjoys life. And I think that's a very cool model for life. Like, go for your goals. If you achieve your goals, then just rest and appreciate the fact that you succeeded. But what brings him down is the fact that he abuses and even kills one of his own daughters. So not great. So there's that part. Not great. Oh, and then the hotness wise though, I think he could get it though. He's big, he's muscular, he's got that big bald daddy head energy. So that aspect, that's why that's what for me keeps him from going lower. Because yes, he did some terrible things, but could he get it? Yeah, he's a big buff guy. He looks good. And then all I said about he's very ambitious and he's a successful person for himself.
Right.
So any thoughts on him? I know you said you might not have a lot on our boy Thanos.
I've never seen an Avengers movie.
You never seen him at all?
None.
None? Not talking Spider-Man, X-Man, Iron Man.
No.
None of that. No, your son doesn't care about Marvel superheroes?
He doesn't even know.
Oh, okay.
I know.
No, that's
Maybe
cool.
I should introduce it to
That's
it.
cool. I think that's awesome. Okay. This next one, this one might get me going. I'm curious to hear your take on this. So we're talking now. She might have a name. I don't know. But this next single parent is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory's mom. Particularly, I think from the first one, the Gene Wilder movie, because I think she's a single mom. I think in the Johnny Depp movie, he has a dad who works at like the toothpaste factory.
Yeah.
So not that one, but the first classic, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory's mom. I think she's scrubbing clothes and she makes cabbage soup or something like that.
She's taking care of the grandparents.
So what is your take on her? Because I got a very mine might be controversial, so I'll get into that in a second.
I think she's doing okay.
Okay.
I don't have a ton of notes on her. I'm curious what what your take is. You have a lot to say. Let's get into it.
Okay, so what would you give her? What grade would you give her?
You got to bring up your list. Where did you come up with these letters for this?
From the internet. You never seen tier list video?
No.
Okay, hold on. We got.
I was like, why aren't they alphabetical? I'll never remember this.
I don't really remember why it always starts with S tier. I think S tier just means like
Superior.
super.
Oh.
Superior. Sagittarius, maybe.
Oh, okay. So I'll give her a C.
A C. Okay.
She's sitting in the middle. She's not doing
she's
anything
she's
exceptional. She's not the worst.
Okay. I'm gonna give her. Do I want to go D or F? I'm giving her a low. No, because I know who I'm giving an F. I'm going to give her a D because she enables Grandpa Joe, who is probably the biggest piece of crap in movie history, because him, his wife, the other two grandparents, those bums. Well, I don't know about the other three because we don't see them get up and walk, but we know for sure Grandpa Joe can get up and move and do all these things.
When he's invited.
He can dance. He can fly by drinking soda. So why are you sitting in bed making Charlie's mom do everything? Making Charlie, he had to go give newspapers out to support his own family, while you four are just sitting around watching Golden Girls in bed all day. So I have issue with Grandpa Joe because as soon as he got a little bit of opportunity for something glamorous, something fun, something that didn't involve work and putting food on the table, he had no problem hopping up and, like you said, doing, TikTok dances all throughout that house.
Yeah, he's like, oh, did you guys say the chocolate factory?
Yeah. Oh, how convenient. Now I can walk. And he tried to pretend like when he first got out of bed, he was wobbly. But no, he was just waiting until he had a good reason to hop out of that bed. And so I have to assume, because I think she calls him dad, so I think it's her dad in that movie, that she has to know his capabilities. So if you're okay with letting those freeloaders just sit around all day while you work, but most importantly, you make your little boy work, then that's going to bring you down a lot on my list. So by proxy, she's coming down just because of Grandpa Joe and those others. And the could they get it ability, I guess I'll call it that. I don't know if she could, well, because you bring a guy home and there's 4 smelly old people sitting in your living room. That's kind of kills the mood a little bit.
She doesn't have time to date anyways, so she's busy cooking and cleaning.
Maybe she's fine. Maybe that's the whole point. Maybe she's like, I don't even want to worry about that right now. Yeah. But
just one more person to cook for. I don't have time for it.
That's true. And then next thing you know, her boyfriend hops in bed with the old people. He's like, babe, bring me a beer.
And that's what would happen.
And she might be into that because that's what the norm is for her. So she would be okay with that type of toxic, crappy relationship. Now I kind of feel bad for her though. So should I move her up out of the fact that she has it kind of hard?
She's making her choices, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she's right. So she's staying a D tier. I think I said D.
Yeah, what do they say to us? We made our choice. We can't complain.
Exactly. Sounds like my comment section. Charlie or the Chocolate's mom, Factory's mom, you made your choice.
Yeah,
you could have
no sympathy for her.
Something different. This is what you get for being a single mom. All right. Next one, we're going to start getting to our animated Disney movie era. So first, well, let's do 2 Pixar movies back to back. I'll shuffle this up a little bit. So I'll go first. This one is going to be Andy's mom from the Toy Story movies. And I'm going to give her a solid, I got to think through all of the movies, see if she fumbled anything. I think I'll give her A. I don't think she did anything in particular that would bring her down. Because again, we see two homeowners, because in the first movie, they move to a new house, so she's able to purchase a second home, maybe assuming she sold her first and used that as the down payment. I don't know. But 2 kids, a big enough house to where they each have their own bedroom, obviously enough to get this kid all these toys and have birthday parties. To send a kid to college.
And he's going to summer camp. Remember that
Yeah,
one?
he's going to summer camp, and
he's got wallpaper on his room.
It's always changing. Like she's able to redecorate his room all the time.
They're donating toys to make room for the new stuff.
Wow, I wonder what she does. She has to be some sort of like entrepreneur.
But she's very present. She's there. She's not at work. So
that's a good. Now I'm curious. I want to know her backstory. They need to make a Andy's mom like movie and tell that.
We need the lore of Andy's mom.
Unless she like married wealthy and then something happened to the dad.
Maybe
something malicious. Wait a minute. You don't think? What if
it was for her kids?
What if she's like a Black Widow situation and she married this? Okay, we're gonna make the movie right now. I'm still gonna keep her at an A because I think this is cool. So she marries this guy. She, actually, this is not even. She didn't just marry him. She seeks out this guy. There's a wealthy bachelor in town, and she knows through research that he likes brunettes, he likes pizza, and he likes football. And so she happens to bump into him at a sports bar one day, and she orders his favorite pizza. She starts talking about his favorite team, make sure her hair looks good, catches his eye, and they start dating. Eventually, they do get married. But then, throughout their time dating and getting married, she finds out he has a deadly peanut allergy, like deadly. So one day, when things look good, kids are already born, all this stuff, she slips a little peanut oil into his shampoo. And oopsie, there's a manufacturer error at the shampoo factory. So she can sue them as well. Okay. So now she has all of this stuff from her husband's will. She has the money from the shampoo factory that she sued, and now she's just living the high life as a wealthy single mom. That's why they have to move, because the neighbor suspects some foul play. So the mom's like, in the first movie, we got to get out of here. We got to skip town. Dang. Tawny.
Let's get you a contract.
That's that. I kind of want to watch that right now.
Yeah. Okay. I guess Andy's mom's a mastermind.
She's a criminal mastermind. It's always the ones you least expect.
Her and her suburb house and her bob.
It's always
haircut.
The one. Her bob. Yeah, you would know. Oh, yeah, being the hairstylist. Any other thoughts on Andy's mom?
No, I think that she's solid. She's got 2 kids. She's very patient. She's throwing parties. Right. Andy's always leaving his freaking little army guys. She's stepping on them, and she's just like, Andy, pick your stuff up, Andy.
That's right. She doesn't blow up. She doesn't, when he loses his toys and whines about it, she doesn't like what I would do. And I would have been like, well, you should have kept better track of it. And I get super annoyed when my kids lose stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because I hate looking for stuff that's lost in general.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. She's solid. She's going to Pizza Planet. She's doing it.
So we like Andy's mom, even though she's a murderer, but that's okay. She's interesting.
It's for the kids.
This next Pixar parent is a dad. This is going to be kind of hard to assess as far as the hotability of this because it's an animal, so we don't want to get too weird, but we could still say our thoughts. I think you're going first. This is going to be Nemo's, I think his name's Marlin, Nemo's dad from Finding Nemo.
I'm going to give him a, is it C and then D? Mm-hmm. I'm going to give him I'll give him a C just because he gets it together later, but he's really limiting his kid based on his disability, and it's all out of love, and I get he's terrified something's going to happen to his kid. I think we have all been there as parents where we're like, don't do that, you're going to get hurt, you know, but it's like you gotta let him fly, you know. So I'd give him a C just because he's kind of mean and pessimistic.
Do you think he's an ableist between his son and Dory? Do you think he has a little prejudice towards people with special needs?
He seems to only be around them, though.
Oh, I guess that's a good point.
I think that he's like your old, you know, conservative grandpa, and he's not a bad person. He's just in his ways, but he learns.
Mm-hmm. He does, unlike old conservative people. Most times he learns, he comes around, he changes his opinion about stuff.
So yeah, I think he's learning, he's growing, he's still himself.
Yeah,
but he softens.
Do you remember much what happens in the second one? I don't even remember this arc in the second one.
So that's the one where Dory goes missing, and they're trying to find Dory because Dory's looking for her parents. And did they scrub it from our memories?
I don't remember what happens in that movie. I know they end by driving a truck off a bridge or something.
Yeah, and Dory's at the aquarium with the whale.
How did a fish drive a truck? How did that happen in the movie?
It was the octopus.
It was the octopus. Oh, okay. I was about to lose my mind. I'm like, how did that happen? I know it happens in the movie unless I dreamt it.
Yeah, I think it was the octopus. Don't correct if I'm wrong. And also, don't say anything about the conservative grandpa. I shouldn't have said it.
Yeah, here come more comments.
I can already read. I'll just make the apology video now. I'm sorry.
Canceled. Tawny's already, oh shoot, your agent's going to hate me because here you are having this big blow up and now this controversy. Yeah. But they say sometimes controversy does help promote you a little bit.
Any attention is good attention, I guess.
That's good.
With this.
I don't really have a big opinion about Nemo's dad. I guess I give him B, like maybe down the middle. Like he goes after his son, but like, well, any good parent's gonna do that, I guess. He has a sad story. His wife gets eaten by a fish.
Yeah, he has trauma.
Okay, so maybe I give him a pass. He does have because he had other kids. Like a whole
like 1,000 of them
of like eggs.
Yeah.
And his wife got eaten. Okay.
So he's very traumatized.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
It's an explanation, not an excuse.
Right. Yeah, that's good. Yes. He needs to go to therapy. I wonder if they have therapy under the sea.
I'm sure they do.
Think they have like fish have like health insurance? And who would be a good fish therapist? It'd have to be like a whale or something gentle, right? That would be a good therapist.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay. All right. I just feel like more than ranking, we're building lore so much for all these characters, which I like.
Disney can contact us.
Yeah, well, they might be like cease and desist. Please stop throwing shade on our beloved characters. Okay. Well, speaking of Disney, we're gonna keep upsetting their lawyers because we got 1, 2, 3. We got 3 classic animated Renaissance Disney single dads to talk about. So we'll go through. First one we'll do is, this is the one. Jasmine's dad from Aladdin.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have thoughts already?
I just think he was kind of like a little bit of a wimp, you know?
Yeah.
He's letting Jafar run the show and his daughter paid the price.
She ultimately did.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. This was the one who I'll keep going through. Maybe I have another one. But this is the one for sure I was going to give an F tier to. So this is my least ranked dad on the list so far. And I'll tell you why. because at the end of Aladdin, they talk. I gotta remember how exactly it goes. So Aladdin and Jasmine want to be together, but then somebody's like, "Oh, well, I thought Jasmine had to marry a prince." And the Sultan's like, "Well, I can just change the rules." And they were like, "Oh, you can do that?" And he's like, "Well, am I Sultan or am I Sultan?" And so he changes the rules. Mm-hmm. So that means this whole time your daughter is upset, being forced into a marriage, in multiple marriages or whatever. All these different suitors come by to try to marry her, doing all this stuff like, this is the tradition, this is the way, when you had the power to make it not like that the whole time. So basically the whole movie, I guess, it has to come on your perspective. Like the whole movie, I guess, happens why Aladdin even meets Jasmine is because her dad is like, what is the word? He's very not patriarchal. What's the word from the Barbie movie they used a lot? Patriarchy. Yeah, did I say it right the first time?
No, I think you said.
Did I say patriotic?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's just why you
probably that too.
Yeah. But so I don't really understand. I don't think he. And then, like you said, he's kind of a wimp. He just kind of looks. And then I don't think. I mean, maybe you disagree, but I don't think he could really get it because he's not the most handsome looking guy in the world, unless you like silver foxes because he has the big white beard. But anyways, I just think he's an F tier dad. I think he's not very caring and attentive to his daughter, has the ability to change things, just chooses not to for some reason, and then almost gets her daughter killed or at the best engaged to evil sorcerer. So that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, screw him.
Yeah, screw your dad, Jasmine.
Yeah.
If you're Jasmine, if you're watching this, go tell your dad, screw him.
0 out of 10.
The next Disney dad we have is Ariel's dad from The Little Mermaid. So kind of same situation. We got a daddy. He has, I think, 7 daughters, and then Ariel being the youngest. So yeah, all these Disney loves giving these princesses single dads, I guess.
Right.
But thoughts on King Triton right off the bat?
So when I was younger, I would say, he was super mean, super awful.
Yeah.
As a parent, he was a really good dad. Like, his daughter was crazy. She was 16. What is she thinking? What is she thinking? She's stupid.
That's crazy, right? I'm glad you said that. I was going through this list in my head this morning, and I was like, wait a minute, 16? And I had to look it up because I thought I was losing my mind. I was like, was she really? They said she was 16 in that movie, and yeah, she's 16.
Yeah. What is she doing?
What?
She's a dum-dum, and he's just trying to keep her in line.
What?
Like, you're not even a legal adult.
No, she can't even go buy a pack of cigarettes. She has to, if she wants to go to underwater therapy with Nemo's dad, she has to still be on her dad's insurance.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? And not only that, so just think about context. I know it sounds like, oh, well, he was me. It's true love, but your daughter, 16, is the equivalent of her wanting to go to another country to be with a guy
that she's met one time, halfway.
Met once, kind of, doesn't even know her name, has never actually talking to, doesn't even know anything about this guy. And you're just supposed to let her go do that because of love.
And she doesn't want to go visit. She wants to go get married.
Yeah, she wants to go get married and then leave the whole ecosystem behind.
The ecosystem.
So that's crazy. So I would give him, like, he's in the middle. I give him like a B or an A.
Yeah.
But he should have stood his ground at the end. Be like, I'm glad we defeated Ursula. I'm glad everything's good. But
you need to come home because you're grounded.
You got homework. You're 16. What is that? A sophomore or junior in high school? You got SATs, bro. You need to go. You got a pep rally coming up this weekend at school. Like, no, like that guy, sure, maybe he'll be there. And
how old is he?
Wait a minute. Uh-oh. How old is he? Because this could get very bad. I don't know what the laws are under the water, but in these parts, we don't marry minors or date minors.
Yeah, so who
Wait
knows?
a minute. Now, do we need to call the cops on Prince Eric? Why has nobody done... Why? Do you think he doesn't know?
It's a messy story. He never asked.
Yeah, this is true. He barely found out her name.
Yeah.
Wait, how does it work? Well, maybe we shouldn't go. But I was going to ask, how does it work if you get with somebody you don't know is underage? Is he still at fault?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, buddy. I tried. I tried, Eric. That's gross. Dang. So much crazy stuff with it. Again, like I said, Disney's lawyers is not going to love the fact that we're pulling all this apart. This is crazy. The last Disney dad we have is Princess Belle's dad. I think his name's Maurice from Beauty and the Beast. I got to think. I don't think he was that great.
Does he send her or does he let her go to live with the Beast?
How does it work? So he gets caught. She goes to get him. The Beast trades her for him, and then he kind of just goes back to town. He tries to go get help, but he still leaves her there.
He's like, oh, anybody? Okay, I got some bread to break or whatever he does.
I gotta go finish tinkering with my stuff, I guess.
Yeah, what does he do? What's his job?
He's like an inventor, I think.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So he's an entrepreneur.
Why am I thinking he's a baker? I don't know what I'm... Never mind.
A baker daddy?
There is a baker there. Oh, that's when she's singing, when she's throwing shades at all the people in town. She's like, there's the baker I see every morning.
Day, yeah.
Nothing
and they're just
new.
living their lives. And she's like, these people are uneducated. They're boring.
I hate living with these stupid simpletons.
I hate living here. My life sucks because I can go to the library and get any book that I want with no questions asked, but it's horrible.
Another Disney brat. Jeez.
And I think she was pretty young too. I don't know. She was 16, maybe. But she was a brat, and then she glamorized Stockholm Syndrome because that whole thing was pretty problematic. And I would say bestiality as well, because she did not like the Beast as much when he turns into a human as she did when he was all buff and hairy and ogre-y.
There's a lot to unpack with Beauty and the Bestiality.
Beauty and the Bestiality. There you go.
That's a heavy movie when you think about it.
There's a lot of
Disney. What were they doing?
Stuff in that movie. Dang, I'm sorry if you're like a Disney adult listening to this, because oh my gosh, here you go, more comments.
Right
now we got the conservatives, we got the single parent haters, and we got the Disney adults who are gonna send comments being like, "You guys don't know what you're talking about." This, that. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. All right, we'll get away from Disney. I think we have a few more. Let's talk about this one, because this one, some would argue, the most iconic single parent of all time, a single mom. We have Reba from The Reba Show. Oh, she made a grin. Okay, so she made a grin, so I'm going to let you go first.
She's a single mom who works 2 jobs.
No, okay, so I specifically put that on the list because I knew you were going to bring up that theme song.
Yeah.
But because I wanted to hear you sing it.
No, I'm not doing that.
Do it. You're the one with the headphones.
That's worse. I don't want to hear
that
in HD.
Voice?
No.
Single mom who works 2 jobs. I don't know the rest of it though. I know the song. I don't know the words.
Me and Madison were trying to mix
I'm
that
a
song.
Survivor.
Ooh.
Is that how it goes?
Yeah, that was.
Oh,
that was
sorry.
in here.
I forgot you had the headphones. I said from the beginning I wanted you to hear me sing.
And I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's awesome, and she's a good co-parent, and he gets with that woman that doesn't he cheat on her with that woman, and they end up together, and she's still really, I mean, she comes around and she treats that woman nice for the most part. And
is that the plot? Her husband gets with, I think her name's Barbara Jean. That's what I remember about that show. And yeah, they she's around all the time. I don't know if they live together.
She's there though.
She's a main character of the show. Yeah, I think she works 2 jobs is the song.
She loves her kids and never stops.
Yeah. I watched that show growing up because she had a daughter. I don't remember her name, but she's like a redhead daughter who I had the biggest crush on when I was a kid. So that was the only reason why I watched that show.
She's in that show Once Upon a Time.
Oh, really?
She plays Ariel in that.
Oh,
I love that show.
I guess I gotta. Does that show fix some of these problems with the Disney movies? Because I never seen.
If anything, it makes the parents worse. And
yeah, aren't some of them bad? Isn't Peter Pan a bad guy in that show?
Oh, Peter Pan's a evil little man in that.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think if they're allowed to do what they did with Disney movies, we can say what we're saying because
That's
they
true.
really twisted the.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, we're just adding on, like I said, we're just adding to the lore.
Yeah.
We're just trying to help. But Reba, she has to be. Well, okay, so I guess there's the question. So we have Goofy in S tier. He's like the peak.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Reba deserves to be up there with him, or is there anything that would bring her down to like an A?
I think that she would be like an A just because she's more.
Okay.
She's human. She has her moments, and I don't know. I haven't watched enough Reba.
I know I haven't seen it in a while, but I'm gonna put her in S just because she has a good theme song. None of the other parents have a theme song about being a single parent, so
true.
I think that's pretty good.
Okay.
All right, another sitcom. I don't know if it's a sitcom, but it's gonna be Lorelai Gilmore from the Gilmore Girls. So first of all, you said before we were recording that you weren't a big Gilmore Girls.
I'm not
stan?
a Gilmore girl.
You're not one of those Gilmore Girls, huh?
No.
But you've seen TikTok clips. You get the gist of how it is.
Yeah, you know how sometimes on TikTok you can watch an entire series through little 30-second bits of it and piece it together. And I've seen some. So her and her daughter's Rory, right?
Yeah. There you
so
go.
I know that. They seem like a cool mom-daughter duo.
Mm-hmm.
I would give her. I don't have enough context. She seems like a good mom, though.
Yeah.
She seems like she raises based off the mistakes she made, and she's like, don't do the same stuff I did. And
because I think the plot of the show, I've seen it. Have I seen every season? Maybe I have. I know I watched it all the way through once, but it was a while ago. I think the plot is her parents are like rich and wealthy and wanted her brought up in like a very like sophisticated, stuck-up way, but she just wanted to do her own thing. She's cool mom.
Right.
So she has her daughter. They live in town. They go eat a lot of breakfast, and then her daughter just goes to school and has her own shenanigans. But I think that's kind of her whole thing. Is she's like, I don't want to be stuck up and snooty like my parents. I just want to be me. And I think she ends up owning or running a hotel or something like that. So that's pretty cool. A lot of entrepreneurial single parents on this list. So yeah, I would give her, from what I remember, and I guess she's like the standard for like if somebody like describe like a single parent or a parent in general who is like friend mode with their kid, like maybe not to the point where you forget there's like a mother-daughter relationship. It's more of like a friendship vibe. They have that. And a lot of like banter, I guess. That's kind of the show. They talk really fast and they're very witty. So I like Lorelai. I think I give her maybe a B.
Yeah.
She's all right.
Yeah.
She's all right. All right. I've got one more SP on the list. And that is going to be going back under the water. I didn't know how many single parents live under the ocean.
There's a lot.
Something about the water makes
divorce.
people divorce. It's the salt. It causes a lot of fights, I guess. But that's going to be Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to know about SpongeBob,
Yeah,
right?
no,
Okay.
I'm a connoisseur.
Oh.
I would say as far as being a dad, I would give him like a B or a C. He's not the best. He's not the worst. He likes to give Pearl whatever she wants.
Oh, yeah.
But also at what cost? Because he's going to pinch a penny, and he's a very frugal man.
He is.
So, Pearl, that's where he kind of loses points. Pearl might need a new car. She just turned 16. She's got her license, but he's going to get her a beater, and it's probably going to break down.
Yeah.
So it's like he wants Pearl to be happy, but it doesn't come before the money. So
you think his real kid is his cash? That's his real pride and joy. Wait a minute. How does he have a whale daughter? That's what I want to know.
I don't want to know.
You don't want to.
I don't want to know.
Another backstory to build.
Adoption.
Okay, let's just keep it pure. We'll keep this one pure and simple. He just adopted her. I'm sure there's SpongeBob's been on for like 20-something years.
A long time.
Like I remember being a kid with my brothers and my sister. It came on like a long time ago, like after the Kids' Choice Awards or something. So you watch that, and then they said, we have a brand new show to debut, and it's called SpongeBob. And I remember watching the first episode, but that was, again, a long time ago. But anyways, there's probably an episode in there that explains how he has a whale daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree. I think Mr. Krabs. Well, let me think about this. Well, he tries, I guess. Because, like, there's one episode I do remember where she needed a date for the prom, and so he makes SpongeBob go. That was
his long
funny.
legs to be as tall as her.
That's iconic episode. But he tried, I guess. But, like, I guess it just depends on your standard for trying. Because, yeah, does he show up for her? Does he, like, do what he has to do? Sure. But is it, like, to the best of his ability? Probably not, because he really loves the money. So I'd probably give him a C as well. So he's like right down the middle. So I guess to kind of recap, our worst single parent, I think we can agree that it was, I think we said Jasmine's dad.
Yeah.
So he's the F. He's like the bottom of the barrel single parent because he
couldn't be
sucks.
less interested
he
in
just
what
really doesn't care. I think there's a point in the movie he's like playing with toys.
Yeah.
When he's making that stack of animals. Like, what is he doing?
He's just in his own world.
Like, there's people starving on the street, like fighting over bread, and you're here just
disassociating,
nonsense.
Playing with Legos. Like,
yeah, come on. Bro has problems.
Yeah.
And then top tier, we had Goofy, I think, who's our unanimous S tier. Reba's up there for sure, but Goofy is definitely this is the standard that I strive for when I think about being a dad myself. I don't know if I'll ever be as great as Goofy, but maybe one day.
Yeah. He was the best.
I'll try. My kids won't let me skateboard like him though, because I fall.
They're concerned.
And I'll get hurt, and they don't like it when I embarrass them by trying new things.
Yeah.
They call me cringe. So,
Cringe.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, everybody, that is going to be our opinion on some iconic single parents out there. But we want to hear from you. Do you agree? I'm sure a lot of you disagree. Like I said, we probably upset so many different categories of people by recording this episode. But, you know.
You just have to put the apology in the same video so you don't have to make a separate apology.
Oh, really?
Video. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Then here, Tawny is going to apologize for all of her words.
Okay. I'd like to apologize to the conservative grandpas. I would like to... Who else did I offend?
The Disney adults.
The Disney adults. And
everybody under the sea probably doesn't like us.
Yeah. If you were offended by this episode, I apologize.
That was a great apology.
Did it seem sincere?
Sure. Yes. For the sake of legal stuff, yes, that was very sincere.
For legal reasons,
For legal reasons, she's very, very sorry. But no, seriously, let us know what you guys think. You can socials, use the email, thesingleparentspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know. But yeah, thanks for doing that.
Thank you.
That was interesting. It turned out more interesting than I thought. I didn't realize I had so many.
Time for you to go write up a script.
I got stuff to write. I got some fanfic.
We gotta
to write.
go, you guys. He's gotta get to the drawing board.
That's how I'm gonna be able to afford your rate going forward on the shows. I'm just gonna have to sell some scripts or something like that. I don't know. But hey, I figured it out. So that means you guys hopefully will see Tawny on more episodes of the show because I'll get ready to take care of that. But yeah, seriously, thanks for being on. Appreciate you. Anything else you want to say before we get out?
That's it. All
right.
That's all I got. Brain
you
is blank.
guys got episode of the Good Girl broadcast coming out or what?
Yes, next week we have a new episode coming out, and it's supposed to be our first filmed episode. So
oh, nice.
We'll see how that goes. So go follow us on Instagram.
We'll put the link in the description to the Good Girl broadcast, and we'll tag them on socials, and we'll do all those things. And I think we're good. I think that's enough yapping for today. So we're going to get ready to wrap it up. Thank you all so much for joining us for another episode of the Single Parents Podcast. My name's Anthony. We got Tawny. Until next time, you all out there, just stay beautiful. Bye.